My dearest Earth friends, this is Tourmalayne speaking. I embrace you in love. How has the Earth's journey been for you so far? Was this what you expected before you came down? Has it been lonelier? Has it been more painful? Do you feel resentment because Earth life is indeed very hard? In what ways has your soul been surprised by your current life on Earth? What things are currently in your life that your teenage self would be very happy with? My dearest Earth friends, feel free to share in the comments how you're currently doing, and feel free to share answers to any of these questions that you feel like answering. I deeply care because many of you have literally been friends or pupils or acquaintances of mine in a past life. And even if you haven't, well, we are all one, and you are the part of humanity that is creating the most expansion, which is one amazing way of serving Source. In March 2024, Ashtar delivered a message via this channeler with the title, Ashtar, if I am suffering, then what am I making my pain mean? In it, he said that the service to self path, or what Earth people think of as being evil, is an entirely valid path to walk. Now, currently there is too much suffering on Earth, and we're working to reduce it. However, Ashtar said that if everyone was cozy and comfortable and pleasant to each other all the time, people's souls would actually start looking for other kinds of less pleasant experiences. Ashtar said, quote, souls actually prefer there to be pain and contrast in the universe. Evil isn't a problem to be solved, it's a feature to be managed. End quote. This is quite a line. I agree with him and wanted to discuss that idea a little more. Souls want to experience all sides of all phenomena. So, for example, it is likely that at one time your soul wanted to experience being murdered. It wanted to experience murdering someone. It wanted to witness someone murdering someone else. And it wanted to experience having a loved one be murdered. Perhaps today your soul has already had these experiences and is no longer curious about them. But most likely your soul was curious about these things in the past, back when you were a younger soul. So right there, you can say that evil has a purpose. Souls wanted to experience all sides of all phenomena. And you can't experience being murdered if everyone in the universe is perfectly loving towards each other. That might not sound like a problem to you, but souls care more about soul growth than about the comfort of their current incarnation. And really, once you start viewing your current incarnation as just your vehicle, and your immortal, reincarnating soul as the real you, then this makes sense. But it goes deeper than just the idea that evil is useful, because it can help souls experience all sides of all phenomena. Us, Pleiadians, as a society are very loving. So what happens if a soul incarnates in the Pleiades a couple of times and is deeply loved every time? Well, it's quite possible that the soul wishes to experience what it's like to not receive sufficient love. So they might incarnate on a world like Earth, or incarnate on a harsh reptilian world. But also, souls who have been incarnated in the Pleiades a couple of times might desire to experience what it's like to not give their children enough love, and in fact emotionally neglect them. And so they might get born on Earth and have a child whose soul agreed to having all the experience of being emotionally neglected. Or a soul who has been to the Pleiades a couple of times but now lives on Earth might decide to cheat on their partner in order to experience another side of love that way. And this might sound monstrous, but no one's soul is getting harmed. Only their vehicles are being harmed. So us Pleiadians, with our loving ways, are actually indirectly nudging souls to want to experience what it's like to be emotionally neglected, or to emotionally neglect others, or to cheat on others. Obviously, this is no secret evil agenda of ours. It's just that souls are interested in experiencing all sides of all phenomena. So if souls live in peace and love with us, then they may want to experience or be responsible for the opposite of peace and love in their future incarnations. Now, sure, souls have free will. It's not like souls are being forced to become evil after experiencing light filled lives a couple of times. And indeed, older souls may have firmly decided to walk the path of service to others or service to self, and so they may choose to consistently act with unity consciousness or consistently act with separation consciousness in incarnation after incarnation. However, relatively younger souls tend to choose to switch between having blissful, light filled lives and having lives where they experience or cause significant darkness. This isn't a problem that is to be solved. This is actually as it should be. This is what souls, the actual beings, want: a huge universal garden where they can play and be and have both positive and negative experiences. Similarly, souls who suffer in a harsh reptilian world may very well wish for more light and love in their next incarnations and become extra loving people after their reptilian incarnations. Indeed, part of the reason why Earth is turning to the light is that many people on Earth have suffered and are suffering, and so they naturally start desiring love and peace. And because enough souls desired that, Earth would become a place of light and love, and it became part of the divine plan that humanity will be free, and so it shall be. So you could think of the Pleiades as a place that indirectly creates people who want to suffer or cause suffering in others, and you can think of harsh reptilian worlds as places that indirectly create people who want to love and be loved. The mirror image of love is wanting to experience lack of love and wanting to act in unloving ways towards others, and the mirror image of lack of love is wanting to experience love and wanting to act lovingly towards others. Suppose that today all people magically stopped existing except for loving Pleiadians. Then fast forward 1,000 years, and I predict that about half of all Pleiadians will have become evil, just because souls wish to experience both sides of polarity. Similarly, suppose that today all people stopped existing except for ruthless, evil reptilians. Then fast forward 1,000 years, and I predict that about half of all reptilians will have become loving and altruistic, just because souls wish to experience both sides of polarity. Similarly, a psychopath on a grey world like Earth might indirectly create a desire in a lot of people to treat others with love and be treated with love in their future incarnations. The worst mass murderer you know has probably created a lot of desire in very many souls to create a safe, harmonious civilization in their future incarnations. So your soul most likely isn't upset with evil people. It's all just part of the dance of creation, part of the upward spiral. By the way, there are good reptilians and good reptilian societies. There actually are also a few evil Pleiadians living in a separate society. I'm just using Pleiadians and reptilians as a shorthand to illustrate the concept. So, is it all meaningless? Well, no. Everything you do are experiences for you and for others, and that is the most meaningful thing in the universe. There is nothing wrong with the universe. The universe doesn't need fixing. The point of helping someone isn't that the universe is flawed and that by helping someone you are moving the universe one step closer to how it should be. Instead, the point of helping someone is just the experience of helping someone, in you and them. The point of the act is the act itself. And also, the act itself is the most meaningful thing in the universe. That said, while the universe itself won't, and indeed shouldn't, become a place with zero suffering in it anytime soon, Earth specifically is certainly moving in the direction of less suffering. And it is entirely possible and perfectly fine for an individual world to move over to the light. And you can absolutely contribute to the divine plan that humanity will be free, and perhaps you can learn a few last lessons there on Earth along the way. Also, while the universe isn't going to become a suffering-free place anytime soon, you personally can absolutely move on to higher and more advanced forms of positive existence. You can absolutely reach more pleasant forms of existence with less suffering for you personally, and doing good deeds can certainly contribute to that. It is my hope that for some of you, this message will help you release resentment or anger towards so-called evil people, or towards people who have hurt you. I hope that was helpful. And to be clear, Earth certainly currently has too much suffering on it. We are still working behind the scenes to reduce that. As Source has decreed, you will be free. That hasn't changed. I very much look forward to finally reuniting with you again. Hopefully, but not guaranteed, later this year or the next. I would embrace you, look you in the eyes, offer you any healing and practical assistance you might need, and say to you, my dearest friend, what a challenge, what an experience to be alive on Earth at this pivotal moment. How has your journey been? Was this what you expected? Has it been worth it? With all my love, this was Tourmalayne.